Hey y'all, praise the Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the Apostle Elders, Greg Millstone. Peace and salutations to you Akim out there pushing, preaching and teaching all across the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you Akim. And real quick, just wanted to jump into a quick topic. Trying to get all my videos, leave everything out there. Because the time is coming shortly but we won't be able to push the truth across YouTube or the internet. We got the net neutrality thing coming up. But anyway, jumping into the lesson is Matthew 13 and 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, this is the Lord speaking, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the household came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. The servants said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? And he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up the wheat with them. Also the wheat with them. Yeah, because when you pluck up weeds, if you got plants real close, you'll root up the plant too, if it's still growing up. Let both grow together until the harvest, and in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. And I'm going to skip down to the translation of that. Verse 38, the field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil, the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. Therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. That's correct. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. And that's talking about here, that's talking about in the world. Like these wacky tacky Christians, they'll try to say that this is talking about a spiritual hell or something like that. No, it just said it. Verse 38, the field is the world. So what it's talking about, Yahweh Shai is talking about, because you had our people scattered amongst other nations, and then you had us going to captivity. Like here in America, you have a lot of these interracial relationships where our women, the damn nigger woman, which I'm talking about black, Hispanic, black, Latino, and Native American women, they get with these Edomites, and they have children by them, and that child may come out with a certain number of melanin, and then those melanated children who look like Israelites, or maybe they have the appearance, the woman might raise them amongst us and say, that's a black child. Like in this society, you're considered, you have what's called the one drop rule. You have one drop, you're considered black. And that's not true. If your father's a white man, like you have these stupid Israelite women who's celebrating Meghan Markle getting with Prince Harry, but they don't know that Meghan Markle, her father's white, and her mother was a black woman. So she's a tare. She's a white woman. She's not an Israelite. So they talking about, oh, we have a chance for winning. No, that's a white woman getting with a white man. Now she has some melanin. That doesn't mean she has the spirit goes back to the father. He puts that seed in the woman. He puts that spirit into a woman. The spirit that was put into her mother was the one of a white man, and that's why when these Israelite women get with these white men, their countenance changes. You can read their spirit and look in their face and tell that they've been with an Edomite. You could just tell a woman like that. And I know not to make it about me, but it was a girl I went to school with, and something was always weird about her. And I used to ask little questions. You know, you probe somebody, you ask little questions. And then eventually came out that she said her father was a white man. And then, you know, her mother was a real dark-skinned woman. And it kind of clicked with me. I said, man, something about this chick is not right. She's not black, but she considered herself black. Or they'll say I'm mixed. Well, there's a lot of mixed people. You know, mixed, that's a trick bag. Like the scriptures just said, you have tares amongst the wheat. So you have the one who sowed those tares amongst the wheat, like it said, it's the devil. The devil being our enemy, the so-called white man, the Edomite. He put his seed in some of our women, and then those women put that child amongst us. In a lot of cases, you have it where those people will be put in the leaderships positions by Edomites or whatever, and then they try to, like the Rachel Dolezal thing, they try to rock out like that's a black person, but no, that's an Edomite, because some of these Edomites, they could tell, they could read the spirit too. And look at all these, it's just that bedwench spirit, man. The billionaire star-crossed lovers. They actually have love books and series. You know, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. The what the fuck? The Dragon King baby. So, yeah, man, this is really a thing. It's called swirling. It's a thing in 2018. And like I said, if you look at these women and you look at their continence, once they get with these Edomites, they change. You know, that's a brother with a white woman, but once they get with these Edomites, their continence, they get that spirit of the devil on them, basically. It's like I said, once the man puts his seed in a woman, or once you start dealing with a woman so much, your spirit rubs off onto her. And just something interesting I found. You have up in Ohio, it's a university, Old Wilberforce University campus, but the place is Tawawa Springs. I don't know if you could read that, Salaki. If you can't, I'll read it for you. It says, in the early 1800s, William and Eleanor Kendall owned this land, known for its natural springs, beauty, and farmland. Right in the 1850, Elias Drake, a lawyer and former speaker in Ohio General Assembly, purchased the property and named it Tawawa or Xenia Springs. He developed a health resort hotel surrounded by summer cottages, all of which were completed the following year. Tawawa is believed to be Shawnee for clear or gold water, so this is probably land that they stole from the Gadites, alluding to the clear mineral-rich springs. From its beginning, the resort did not fare well, as it was popular amongst southern planters who, much to the consternation of nearby anti-slavery sentiment, damn, everybody want to call you, do a video, of nearby anti-slavery sentiment, brought slave entourages whenever they came. Yeah, because what these white men would do, and I know this through a different article, they would bring up the Israelite women slave to this little resort houses, the bed wenches. They would bring them up here, and they would, you know, this would be their little weekend resort, you know, for being on good behavior with white daddy. Because that's what this society is about, white supremacy. And in a lot of cases, their wives probably knew about it. And they were down for it because their men had power. Just like when we get that power, all women are going to be down for us having different little women on the side. That's what a real woman is down for. And that don't necessarily mean you know, you disrespect her or anything like that. But that's just what it is. That's what it means to be a man. But anyway, they bought slave entourages whenever they came, and this is up in Ohio and what's considered the North. But you had a lot of this. You had a lot of people from the South who brought their slaves up north to show them off or whatever. In October, the negotiations for a sale opened up with the Cincinnati Conference of Methodist Episcopal Church. Right. They purchased it for $13,000 to establish a university for African Americans. So basically, just reading through the lines, they saw what was going on. This was like I said, this was a retreat for bed wenches, and they would come up here with the slave master. And these people, I guess they felt bad or whatever, so they made it a HBCU. And this is real kind of stuff. A damn retreat. So they could keep these women psychologically. That's how you keep a woman on a leash. You give her little goodies from time in and time out, and then they have a book called Wench, which talks about that. Because that's what the Israelite woman was made into, especially the black woman. That's why the black woman gets the most rap, because she's the worst of the worst. It says, this is the Washington Post, it says, tender spot in master slave relations. There's reading a biography of W.E.B. Du Bois. It was a small piece of history, right? Then it's going to go into the Wilberforce University, the nation's oldest privately, historically black college, HBCU, or W.E.B. Du Bois had once taught. Right, then it's going to talk about wealthy southern slave owners would take their slave mistresses for open air vacations. Yeah, it was a vacation, sure. But going into the book, it's the story of 4 slave mistresses who became further friends at Tawawa House. They contemplate freedom, learn from each other's stories. Right. Lizzie sleeps in the same bed with her owner, the father of her 2 children, and thinks herself in love with him and he with her. And she's a damn slave. So yeah, I mean, you can read the rest, but basically, man, this is a collective of women who have been psychologically, manipulated to fall in love with their master. What's it called? Stockholm syndrome. And that's what's going on with the nation of Israel now. The nation of Israel, our people have Stockholm syndrome from being here in America, especially the black woman, because the Edomite man, just like it tells you in the Willie Lynch letter, they've done all this stuff to let the black woman kick her feet up, shit on the black man, shit on our family. You got these young children out here walking around now, completely devoid of who they are. Completely, lacking the understanding of how to go through life. Or young men, they don't have a system of any kind of passing of manhood or anything like that. So they grow up under the guidance of wicked men, and that's where the men of the Lord come in, because we strive to be those men of the Lord, men. Not emotional, not falling on one side of the scale too far or the other side, but men first and men of the Lord. And this is Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? That's right. And when you see our men on television or anywhere, they're not really men. Even in the sports arena. Jake is still silly. We're like homeborn slaves to these Edomites. These Edomites, they've enjoyed keeping us in captivity, and Jake has worked to kind of make that captivity better. But I don't want to ramble on for too long. That's the points I was trying to hit. It's another article. It's the root. I don't know about the root. It's kind of sketchy, but they got it too. The root, they got it too. Salaki. We'll have to call him right back. And then lastly, of course, you had Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson spent years raping his slave. A new novel treats their relationship as a love story. So here he is rewriting history. And that's another thing, man. The so-called black woman needs to know, man. They think because you get a few goodies, you get a little, you get $200 worth of food stamps or some free housing or whatever, or maybe the white boss will put you over a black man or whatever. You've been put into a place of really low power, but enough that you'll be satisfied. And really, though, these people hate you. They hate your guts. They hate everything about you, but they're willing to play ball with you because they want to use you for their agenda. And that's why a lot of Israelite women, they say they're down for the scriptures, but really they're not. Really, their mind is in America. That's why the Lord is dealing with men and men first. And when we go out and we preach and teach on the highways, these women always have a problem. They're always rebellious against everything that you're saying. But then deep down, they know what you're saying is true. So it's going to have to come to a point, when you keep saying something to somebody and they just, and it's the correct thing, they keep bucking up, you're going to have to come hard against that person. And that's what the Lord is going to do. He's going to, Isaiah 4, rise up, you women of the east. It's trying to give a warning to the so-called Israelite woman. Rise up. This man is not your friend. This man is not really cool with you. Yet you're still, you still have your mind in the society. And the majority of these women, when that time comes, because they're not paying attention, when that time comes, they're going to be in for a hard wake-up call. And a lot of Israelite women are going to die. A lot of women in general. But anyway, just jumping into this, I'm going to just summarize it, man. Basically, Thomas Jefferson, he got this girl, Sally Hemings. They had 6 children together while she was enslaved. Jefferson also enslaved their children. So these Edomites treated their own children they had with Israelite women like niggas, freeing them one by one as they came of age. She was already a half-sister to Jefferson's late wife. And it's going to go on to talk about that. Basically, he got her when she was a teenager. She was a young girl. He was in his 40s. And he was getting with her. And, if you read down through the article, I think it's going to tell you he had a private hallway just to get to her room in his house. It was a private hallway going from her room to his room. And that's how she was used. And now they're saying, they're coming with that Me Too shit, which is correct. Thomas Jefferson was a rapist, right? That is correct. He was a rapist. And it's about damn time. Maybe she wanted it, maybe she liked it. So yeah, man, this man, and then in another article, because this is his house, they dug up. Once she died, they turned her room into a bathroom. So they didn't have any reverence or respect, for this woman as his wife. She was a slave. She was a fucking slave. And that's how these Edomites see the Israelite women. A slave, a conquest. No, they don't get with Israelite women and fall. Well, the smart ones, they don't get with Israelite women and fall in love, and then they're gonna piece you off or something so you can run back to your people. No, it don't work like that. So with that being said, man, I hope that was edifying. All praise to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, the one said positive elders, great millstone. Continue to push, continue to fight. This is the year of prophecy. May the prophets keep prophesying. May everything become clear to you in the name of the Holy Spirit. Shalom.